disrupted.
America that I fought for.
Weird thing to happen. Hello, one and all. Welcome to this edition of Kitz Corner. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So it's about time that the government track down on adverse side effects of pharmaceuticals. It's about time, considering the last 3+ years that we've been living in, and considering that the amount of people that have suffered through the side effects that they're being treated with is through the roof. So it's about time that the government actually looked at investigating into things. But there's a twist. They're looking into things, but there's a twist. There's a catch. And it's not what you think they're actually investigating on. They're actually ganging up to go against natural health products here in Canada. I kid you not. This is from CTV News saying that industry blindsided by federal government's plan to track ill effects of natural health products. I love how our government, does a complete 180 to make things worse. Like, it starts off by they say how good things are, just like how they said C11 was to promote Canadian content, and people got sucked into that. Like, oh yeah, we want to promote Canadian content. Obviously, Canadians create a lot of content, entertainment, media. They want to promote that. Oh wait, the government decides what's available for Canadians. Oh, that's not what we want. That's the zinger of our government, ladies and gentlemen. They always come up with these scenarios that make it sound good, but when you actually get to the point, when you actually get to the action of it and actually get to what's between those lines, it's actually worse. It's way worse for people. So, what does this all mean that they're tracking the ill effects of natural health products? Well, according to CTV News, they say a new plan to force hospitals to report adverse effects of natural health products, such as herbal remedies and supplements, has become a surprise to manufacturers who say they were blindsided by the proposed change. The federal government included the plan in the 2023 budget bill, which is still making its way through the House of Commons. It would see natural health products fall under the same category as pharmaceuticals when it comes to how they are monitored once they are on the market. I think that's supposed to be a gag. I think that's a joke right there. We're supposed to take care of them like pharmaceuticals, like we took care of Pfizer. We were really concerned about the injections that we were forcing Canadians to get. We're so concerned about that we're also going to throw natural products like supplements, vitamins, vitamin D, the necessary things that doctors have been prescribing for years, that all of a sudden just went away during COVID. They would be incorporated into Vanessa's Law, which was passed in 2014 to improve the reporting of adverse reactions. It was named after 15-year-old Vanessa Young, the daughter of Conservative Member of Parliament who died in 2000 after her heart rate had been affected by medication that was prescribed by her doctor. Putting natural health products under the framework would require hospitals to report on any unintended consequences associated with them so that Health Canada can recall them or order fixes if necessary. The provisions have been disclosed before, said Aaron Skelton, president of the Canadian Health Food Association, but there was nothing that would have indicated to the industry that this was implemented, he said. The industry and the association were both caught off guard when they saw they included this in the budget. The debate about whether to include natural health products in Vanessa's Law was, when it was first introduced, generated quite the discussion on Parliament Hill at the time. Senator Judith Seidman, who sponsored the original bill in the Senate, told her colleagues at a recent committee hearing the government at the time decided against doing so. Since then, several high-profile tragedies that saw parents and patients eschew controversial medicine in favor of natural remedies have prompted a national conversation about the regulation of natural health products in Canada. So what they're not telling you in this article is that people were getting second opinions away from big pharmaceuticals because at the time, especially with the opioid crisis, especially with, the rise of fatalities, the rise of side effects, how people were becoming drug addicted and severely impaired by it, they were looking for natural remedies. They were looking for alternatives. So then a bunch of pharmaceutical lobbyists decided to walk into Parliament and say, hey, let's shake some hands, let's do some talking, and go after natural remedies. Traditional medicine. That I once saw a documentary, I forget what it's called now, where natural remedies were the thing. That was the thing that doctors for years and health providers for centuries throughout history have been providing to people until a guy by the name of John Rockefeller, yes, that Rockefeller, decided to buy into the medical industry and say, hold on, wait a second. We can't capitalize enough on natural remedies. So we're going to spin things around. We're going to buy the medical associations. We're going to buy the medical schools that we're going to train these doctors. Instead of actually helping these people with natural remedies, we're just going to make them slow their sickness so we can capitalize each and every point. That's pretty much what sums up in this article. They're not going to tell you that directly, but that's what I feel is happening here. So, let me show you. This is what Global News had to report on this, and they posted to the article here. Ottawa's plan to track ill effects on natural health products caught industry off guard, and this is what they interviewed the pharmacist director of Canada, the Association of Pharmacists around the world, and this is what they had to say of this.
A lot of people equate the word natural with safe. They feel that if it comes from nature, it couldn't possibly be harmful. And that's absolutely not the case.
The federal budget proposes amending the Food and Drug Act to enable regulators to take stronger action when health or safety issues are identified with natural products. Natural health products include vitamins and minerals, herbal remedies, and traditional medicines.
They're used widely by people, and we really need to see some protection put in place so that consumers can make better decisions. A lot of people equate.
So he's saying that for consumer sake, we need to protect people from these alternatives, vitamins and minerals, and make sure that people are informed so they can make an informed decision. I like that idea. I like that we need to bring information to the table because when push comes to shove, the patient or the consumer should have that information available to people. If only we had information on, say, the COVID vaccine. If only we had information of all the other pharmaceuticals that we're told to take instead of vitamins and minerals. Just saying. The mass amount of misinformation and censorship to align with the big pharmaceutical industry used to continue to poison you, instead of actually treating you, they're just prolonging your sickness, your illness, to capitalize at every point. They're not informing you. They're purposely not informing you so that you are guided towards the big pharmaceutical chemical pills instead of these natural remedies that have been around for centuries, since human civilization, that we know about, that there's been countless studies been produced on this. It's incredible that they're going to track down on natural health products. Now, don't get me wrong. When a corporation slaps the word natural, you do have to take that with a bit of grit. You do have to, be suspicious on when they slap natural or organic or anything like that, because corporations could slap anything onto any product and make you buy it at a whim just for them. But for vitamins and minerals, for vitamin D, for, natural remedies that have proven to be effective. Like, look at the disinformation campaign they did with ivermectin. the number one top essential drug in the World Health Organization. They were doing countless studies to treat people with cancer on this drug. And they did a mass disinformation campaign, a massive attack on people that were looking to this alternative to treat themselves with COVID. And all it did was cause a debacle for the pharmaceutical industry to then propagandize and fearmonger people at their helm, at their whim. That's all this is doing. This is promoting the big pharmaceutical industries that have no intent of helping you. No intent. They're not there to help you. They're not there to cure you. They're there to prolong your illness so they can market at every single point in turn, just like private healthcare insurance. Do you think they really care about saving your life? God, no. They just want to prolong your illness so they can track and bill you at every point. So, I love how, there's such a reaction to reporting the adverse effects on natural remedies that there needs to be some sort of government investigation. Well, where's the government investigation on this? Fact check. Reports of adverse events due to COVID-19 vaccines are unverified. Where's the investigation on that? Where's the outpour of this? Where's the doctors and all the scientific minds, on the news reporting about this, that, hey, we didn't do at all an investigation, and the fact that they hid away all the side effects of these vaccines for 75 plus years, and they had lawyer after lawyer trying to protect people away from that information. That's not a cry for an internal investigation. That's not a cry for regulation. Of course not, because big pharmaceuticals, Pfizer, Moderna, bought into our government. They bought into Parliament. They bought into Health Canada. They bought out Theresa Tam. That's why you saw, countless advertisements. Her with Mrs. Claus reporting to kids about how you need to get boosted up before school starts, where there's no scientific explanation for it. Of course, they could ask people about their adverse side effects, but, people that speak out on their adverse side effects, myself included, get smeared down. They get attacked. They're you're a conspiracy nut. You're crazy. You're misinforming people. You're spreading medical misinformation about your own symptoms. I kid you not. That's what you got when you told people about your side effects that you got from being injected. But I guess I can live with the ups and downs of, pains and sores and having migraines multiple times a day that I have never gotten in my entire life. I guess I can live with that, according to this. So then this goes into this. So this is an ethics professor, Dr. Julie Ponez, and she's speaking to Bright Light News about this, on how this is a betrayal and a violation to people that are looking for alternatives. Because, again, we're supposed to look for second opinions. A doctor may recommend something, but when it comes to you as a patient, you have the ultimate say. You can say that, hey, I don't want to take a pharmaceutical chemical, Frankenpill. Is there another way? Is there another alternative? Is there a safer method? Is there something from nature? Maybe I just change my diet. Maybe I exercise more. Maybe I get some more sunlight, vitamin D. Is there something that I could do instead of injecting myself with potential poisons? So here's what she had to say about this.
So if you've been paying even the tiniest bit of attention lately, you'll know that Health Canada is making moves to regulate natural health products and supplements in Canada so severely that we might be at the point where it won't even be possible to get them or use them for your medical care in the future. And I think this is, I'm going to give you a bit of a metaphor that speaks to this powerfully, and it's a bit hyperbolic, but makes the point really well, I think. So imagine that the government mandated that your children, while at school, had to have 3 candy bars a day. And at the same time, they raised the prices of healthy food, like whole dairy, meats, cheeses, fruits, vegetables, to the point where people, unless they're wealthy, couldn't afford them. And then at some point, even take them off the market entirely. Well, that's the sort of situation we're at in Canada right now. To be very honest with you, it isn't clear to me that the government should be in the business of regulating much of anything. But if they want to start somewhere, it should be with the drug companies and not with companies that are producing natural health products. We'll be talking about this issue, the ethical, political, scientific dimensions of this at an event in Toronto on July 26th, put on by Bright Light News. It'll be held at the Eglinton Grand Theatre. I've been there. It's a fantastic venue. And I'll be speaking alongside constitutional lawyer Sean Buckley, Dr. William Mackis, and Dr. Roger Hodkinson. I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't spoken for quite a few months, and I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you and talking about this incredibly important issue. If you're interested, see details below, and I hope to see you there. Bye.
So I just wanted to play that throughout, because if people are looking for that event, you know, it does sound interesting. It does sound interesting. And considering the last 3+ years of how they've completely ignored the obvious criminality of everything from Fauci to Bill Gates to, you know, the mandates to the lockdowns to the lies, the conspiracy, the manufacturing, fear-mongering that they were doing. They've lied at every point in turn about natural immunity to mortality, to who needs it. They didn't do a Barrington Declaration. They silenced out doctors. They silenced out the man who invented the technology to bring us the vaccines to begin with. They have no business to regulate natural foods to keep us safe. After everything that we've been through, they have no business to ever regulate on vitamins and minerals and natural, healthy, organic food supplements. They have no business to touch any of that after all that we've been through. And it's all in part with big pharmaceuticals, because that is the intent of all this. Just like the metaphor that you said, they are trying to raise the rates of healthy food that kids are going towards junk food. So they're constantly going towards big pharmaceuticals. And that's the intent. That's the point. They're going to regulate so much of these natural foods that it's going to go away. They're going to regulate so much of vitamins and minerals that they're just going to cease to exist. And then you're just going to get more and more doctors that are saying, hey, take a Vicodin provided by Pfizer. Here, they gave me a shiny pen and a calendar. Because doctors are apparently now just salespeople. They're not there to heal or recommend actual medical advice, apparently, anymore. That's the world that we're in right now. And that's scary. That's terrifying. And concerning throughout COVID, I've been, you know, now that I know what I know and trying to look at alternatives and trying to look at different alternative, you know, uses of these natural, organic, you know, learning more information about this. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that they do this, and it's criminal to this point. And it definitely, I would say, in violation of ethics, in violation of, you know, consumers. Because how is this protecting consumers? How is this protecting the average person when they're not getting told the straight story? When they're not getting told all the information that they can have available? That was what was so wrong about COVID, is that they silenced out so much vital information that so many people did not get the facts straight, did not know what the hell was going on, And they were scared so much that they fell into line of big pharmaceuticals rather than looking at the virus and explaining people about the virus and telling people about alternatives that they could access to. And the more information people got about it, the better we'd be off at this point. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And of course, it leads to this. And this is the most disgusting kicker of all this. Is that after they announced that they're gonna regulate so harshly on natural supplements and therapeutic remedies, they're gonna go so heavy-handedly because they're out of whack. All the adverse side effects, all the craziness that goes into natural goods. They're also gonna recommend that kids get another COVID booster in the fall. and this came out today. This came out today on July 11th, 2023. Are you freaking kidding me? In 2023, July of 2023, they're telling people to go get boosted again. How long is this going to take? How long is this going to prolong to the point where I'm going to see great grandkids getting the same information of getting boosted up? This is going to be a yearly thing now. This is going to be almost a monthly thing now. And it's not helping the cause. There's no information about it. It's just blatant fear-mongering to scare people into line to go along with big pharmaceuticals to take this injection. This experimental injection that people were told to not question the science, not have any inquiry, not have any discussion about it whatsoever. And we're still doing this in 2023. After everything we've been through. After everything that's been exposed at this point now. After all the actual inquiries that people, regular citizens, had to drag out of these ghouls. They still do stuff like this. It's speechless. I'm speechless of how insane this is. And it's just never going to stop. It's never going to stop because Health Canada and the Parliament and Justin Trudeau and everybody in the Canadian establishment, just like the States, is all bought out by pharmaceutical lobbyists. They're promoting this heavy-handedly to raise the corporate estate of these mega international drug cartels. That's the metaphor I'm going to use. It's a drug cartel. Because I don't know what else to explain to people that these are corporations that not only create these false prophecies of curing people with their toxic medicines, but then also invent the viruses that we're trying to cure people of. Like, I literally, I'm not making this up. It's not a hyperbole. Look at the Pfizer files. Look at the long-standing history and the amount of lawsuits that these mega giant international conglomerates have done to populations on the earth. It's disturbing. It is downright disturbing. And now they're going to go after natural supplements. While ignoring the years and years of pain that people have been suffering throughout this pandemic because of lack of information. Now, I can tell you that the COVID vaccines are safe and effective, and how wonderful they are. My heart just swells on the prosperity and the hope of me getting that injection. I just swell up with glee on the amount of people that got vaccinated. But this is what they're saying, so take it as you will.